I caught my husband cheating 6 days ago. He can't believe I'm not over it yet. Is it normal to still be upset? 6 days ago, I caught my husband cheating. He can't believe I'm not over it yet. My husband and I are both 33 and have been together for 8 years, married for 4. Last Saturday, I accidentally came across some messages on his phone about meeting up with people for random hookups. I was, and still am, devastated and disgusted by what he did. I haven't wanted him to touch me, and obviously things are not normal at home. We promised each other we would talk to the other person if we ever started to have a wandering eye. And we're determined to keep a solid marriage. That hasn't worked out too well. Considering he's now cheated on me and I had to catch him. Now he's telling me this is the best thing that could have happened in this situation. Because he realizes what a POS he has been. He said he is determined to try and fix this. While I appreciate this, I'm still struggling to trust him. I think I want to try and fix our marriage, but I'm still working through a lot of emotions. Every time we talk he keeps stating he wants to fix it, any way he can. He will do whatever I want, he will be more attentive, pick up more chores around the house, and show how important I am to him. He scheduled a marriage counseling appointment for Tuesday. Last night, we were talking about all this and something about the conversation really upset me, and I told him I couldn't talk to him anymore because I was too mad. I needed some space. He left and went to the bedroom. A few minutes later, I went in to explain why I was so mad, and he said something about how we are just different people. When I asked what he meant, he said he is more likely to let things go and move on. He forgets I'm not that type of person. He said if the situations were reversed, he would be able to move past it by now. Now he says he doesn't know if he should just give up trying, because I'm going to leave him anyway. He said he thinks I will always hold this over his head and never get past it. It has been 6 days. Am I really supposed to get over the biggest betrayal of our marriage in 6 days? Is this not a normal amount of time to grieve the marriage and relationship I thought we had? Should I be doing something more to show him that I want to work on this? I don't yell at him, I try not to call him names, I am civil and don't take cheap shots at him when we talk. However, I do explain to him that I'm angry, sad, shocked, and all the other emotions that go along with your spouse having an affair. But, I'm not over it, and I think he's getting tired of hearing about it. Any advice about the situation is welcome. My main question is about the normalcy of my reaction. Should I be getting over this quicker? Is it even worth it at this point? TL.DR. Caught my husband cheating 6 days ago. He can't believe I'm not over this yet and is now thinking of giving up. Am I normal because I'm still working through these feelings? Should I not be sharing with him how I feel? Your husband is acting like a POS. He's trying to manipulate you into forgiving and forgetting before you're ready. Don't fall for it. Yes, it's normal to be upset 6 days after you catch your spouse cheating. He said if the situations were reversed, he would be able to move past it by now. What a bunch of bullshit. He's not remorseful whatsoever. He still only cares about himself. Which means he still does not care about you or even respects you. 6 days, are you frocking kidding? If you truly want to work this out, which I do not suggest because of the way he's acting, couples counseling is in order ASAP. I would also strongly suggest you taking time for yourself, and only yourself, to think clearly. Have him stay with family or you stay with family for a bit, to really get a feel for things without his persuasion. But I myself would be speaking with lawyer and filing for divorce. Yes, it is normal to be this upset. My ex-wife cheated on me, was caught red-handed, and still lied to me repeatedly, and I continue to feel upset about it whenever I think about her, or the subject of cheating over 10 years later, even after we divorced, and I know plenty of other people, both men and women, who feel similarly even after long periods of time. Cheating and betrayal is a life changer. Being upset is justifiable, especially when there is little remorse, or when the cheater treats it as no big deal. However, there is a big difference between being upset about it, and letting it rule your life. Be conscious of your emotions, and allow yourself to be open to feel trust for others in the future, but don't betray yourself by letting others, especially those who caused it, tell you how you should feel. Has anyone's relationship actually survived infidelity? 7 months ago, I found out my boyfriend of 1 year had cheated on me with his ex. Up to that point I had been in a bubble, naively floating along believing that we were happy. We fell madly in love quite quickly, and once the butterflies wore off, I held on to what we had and believed we could have a future, whilst his mind wandered back to his previous relationship, which had not ended very cleanly. At a low point at the end of last year, he had the opportunity to see her and one thing lead to another, old feelings came back and they slept together. He says that as soon as he woke up the next morning and sobered up, he realized what a huge mistake he had made. He cut contact with her and told her he wanted to be with me. He started to see a therapist, but did not disclose anything to me. I was still floating along. She contacted me 6 weeks later, and informed me of what had happened. The bubble burst and my world fell apart. Our relationship up until this point was not particularly deep. I always felt that we didn't really know each other's souls yet. He is a typical British male, in that difficult emotional subjects just don't get talked about, and I'm not good at getting into deep conversations either. We were having a great time together, and our chemistry was great, but I felt like he was holding a part of himself back from me, and I was beginning to get a glimpse of this part. The cut was so deep, I've never felt emotional pain like it. Yet, I still wanted to be close to him, I still wanted to cling on to him, all at the same time I felt like kicking and strangling him for ruining our simple, pure relationship. He had been trying to portray this perfect guy image to me, and he ended up destroying that image in the worst way. At the time I felt even stronger love for him. I knew that I wanted to make it work, as long as he showed remorse, and worked hard to open himself up to me, and do his best to fix what he'd done. 7 months down the line, and I feel like he has done all of these things, but my feelings are confused. Our relationship is better than ever, he is my best friend, we share everything and are much more open with each other. Our relationship has grown deeper and stronger, and we have started to plan and save for our future together. I couldn't wish for anything more from a relationship, recent events excluded obviously. He's been with me all the way, trying to help me to get out of this hole, but the pain is still there, and this feeling of insecurity remains. I know that I could move on, be by myself and eventually be in love again, but I have everything I need in this relationship, and have no interest in pursuing a new relationship with someone else. There's just this huge black mark on it all that is impossible to ignore. I'd like to hear from people that have had similar experiences, or even if you can offer any advice, insight, or even just support. If you're just going to comment telling me to dump him and move on without any actual useful input, please don't bother. Surviving and thriving. We've had more honest conversations in the past month than we had in the decade prior. Still surviving. It's been over 2 years, and we're doing a lot better now. We still do have our occasional arguments, and I am still somewhat vigilant over what happens with her when I am not around, but we both worked hard to figure out our wants and desires, and work hard to support each other in achieving those desires. We still do love each other, and she has put in so much effort into bettering herself and our relationship, that I don't think it'll happen again. It does happen, but for a lot of people it's very hard to move forward from it. I have dated my girlfriend for 7 years, and we have both done it years ago. I am only 21, so a lot of that was when we were younger. People told me to just let it go. It has been 3 years since it happened. and we are a lot closer and we talk about everything. If we are not happy about something, we discuss it instead of holding it in and letting it eat at us. We both put in a ton of work to make sure we build a solid foundation after that happened. If you are both putting in the effort, stick with it. If not, move on and get on track with your life.